to say.
Ahoy, ahoy, and welcome to the newest edition of Ramble On Reactions. With me is handsome Dan Knight.
Clever Eric Muller over there.
Hello.
So this is going to be one that I saw that you haven't. So.
I have no idea what's going on. I'm just here to look pretty.
And he's doing a great job, and he's going to be my foil in this. So the other day I went and I saw Green Room, which actually, now that I'm looking it up, it said it came out in 2015, but it's just now getting a wider release through A24. I'm not exactly sure if they're the actual production company or just a distributor, but they're the ones who put it out, and it was starring Anton Yelchin of Star Trek fame, and he did Fright Night, the remake as well,
which wasn't that bad.
And then I'm literally looking their names up because I don't want to screw anyone up, and it's Imogen Poots is another star, and then Alia Shawkat, which was she was what's her face? She was in Arrested Development, was her big thing. She was cousin to Michael Cera. I can't remember her.
Oh, really?
Cousin, is it Maybe? Was that her name?
Yeah, Maybe.
Maybe was her name. And then also starring Patrick Stewart.
Sir Patrick Stewart.
And then it was written and directed by Jeremy Saul. It might be French, so I'd say Saulnier, because that's what it looks like to me. Ooh. So he wrote and directed this, and this was when you see the previews, it looks very much like a horror movie, and it's based around a band that Anton and Maybe is. I'm just going to call her Maybe because that's okay.
That's what most Hollywood first.
Exactly. That's how everyone would know her. So they're in a band, and they're just like this underground punk band that's super analog and like hard to get a hold of because like I think they said they have like no social media presence, not because they're against it or something. But anyway, the tone of this movie is very well done. Like it sets a tone from the beginning, and then they kind of like go off the beaten path, and they wind up playing at a neo-Nazi bar that's like off in the middle of nowhere, in the middle of the woods. And then they're in the green room, and they find something that happens.
The green room
title. Something that happens, and then it turns into a thriller from there. Like you think of the vibe of like Panic Room or. Maybe a little bit of The Strangers. The Strangers is a little bit slower of a burn, but this movie, there are tropes in it, but the tropes that they do so well that you don't mind them at all. All the reviews were like, Patrick Stewart, you'll never think of him the same way again. And I'm like, he was good, but it wasn't like...
It wasn't career redefining?
It wasn't career redefining, no. You're watching it and you're like, this is Patrick Stewart and I really like what he's doing, and like he's really good in this role where he's like playing a southern neo-Nazi, but it's like, and it didn't blow me away like all the trailers were leading me out to believe. That being said, the suspense in the thriller aspect of this is really good. Like there are a couple of parts. I saw it with a friend of our show, Kellen, and we went and saw it, and there are a couple of parts where we're like, oh my God, and like we really couldn't believe what was happening and how they were like each beat was happening. And that's the thing, is like when you'll see the beats coming like you do in standard horror movies, but then you're like hit the other way and you're like, oh my God, that just happened. And it's like that's where they're seeing and acknowledging those tropes, but definitely making a left-hand turn at the same time. So if we're doing grades, I would probably give this one a solid B. Okay. Like it's definitely worth checking out. It is a smaller release, so I don't think it's wide release, but I definitely enjoyed watching this movie, especially since like most of the time I'm not a huge horror movie fan. I do like a thriller and a good suspense, but this was very much, I would characterize this as a thriller, which I feel like are always they're misrepresented in advertising, like because they're always pitched as horror movies, and they kind of have this weird, you're going in and then it's like, oh, this isn't a horror movie, it's not what I was expecting, you know what I mean? So
sure.
you're just nodding. Do you have any questions about the movie? Like, you've seen the previews, I remember we watched them together.
You pretty much answered all my questions. Wonderful reaction.
Well, it was look at how cute he is. Just look at it. So yeah, I would definitely say check this movie out. It's everyone gives great performances, because there are a lot of times where it's like there are a lot of times when you're seeing movies like this, like horror and suspense, where you're like, that's stupid that someone would react this way, or like I wouldn't do that this way. It's like you're watching it and it's like it's very realistic, almost every portrayal in this movie. So nothing took me out of it, so I would definitely recommend it.
It's real, people.
I hope not, because there were some real messed up things in this movie, if it's real.
Well, let's just let everyone know that you should go see it. And thank you for watching. I am Eric.
Dan.
Ahoy, ahoy, and anchors away.
Ahoy.